So why does one start a presentation about reinventing capitalism with Gangnam Style? Well, normally because that's how I roll. Second is because I'm a digital analyst. I study technology. I study how it impacts business. And then at the same time, I'm an aspiring sociologist. I study how this affects people, how it affects you and me. And that example is an example of the social economy, how likes and views and comments become the very thing that sort of drive us on these social networks. And social media seems to be the savior for business, for the future of consumerism, but at the same time, in any form of capitalism, you have a business for profit, and then you also have customers, real people. And that's what I want to talk about today, because what this is about is relationships. It's not about likes or comments or money as much as it is about people. It's not business to consumer, it's not business to business, it's people to people. And in this social economy, we play a pretty big role. We are the people who fuel it, and some of us are professionals, and so we're the people who try to interact within it to keep our businesses relevant in an uncertain economy. And in my studies, as I was writing The End of Business as Usual, I kind of came up with this idea of digital Darwinism, which is the evolution of technology and society. And as it evolves, well, it tends to evolve faster than a lot of organizations' ability to change. Blockbuster, BlackBerry, FAO Schwartz. The list of companies is actually pretty depressing. The one that nailed me the most was Kodak. There's no Kodak moment for our kids or grandchildren as much as there's going to be an Instagram moment or a TwitPic moment or whatever's next. But as we approach the anniversary of the Occupy movement, we have to realize that it was less about a revolution, or less about a revolution maybe without necessarily a cause, but more about the demonstration of what happens when people get together to say something. And whether it's an Occupy movement, whether it's a revolution in the Middle East, the point is that you and I have a voice. You and I have the ability to get together, to do something, to change something, as long as it's important to you and me. See, whether you're part of the 1% or the 99%, you are part of a movement. And whether or not businesses realize that this movement is underway is irrelevant. It is underway. And so there's going to be a revolution within every business, but it shouldn't have to come to your doorstep. You should take this opportunity to realize that the social economy can work for you and can also work against you. It's giving rise to a new form of connected consumerism that is not only profound, but it's game-changing. You've heard of Generation Y, you've heard of the Millennial, you've heard of Generation Z. But in my work, I found that the biggest threat to business is Generation C, where the C stands for connectedness. You and I are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, some of you are on Pinterest. Actually, I bet a lot of you are on Pinterest. How many of you are on Pinterest? Yes. I was just in Amsterdam last week, and 2 hands went up in a crowd of 1,000. I said, nope, this is not San Francisco. But the problem with social media is that businesses are jumping to it because they believe that that's how they're going to connect with you and I. That's how we're going to build a relationship. But the reality is that there is too much talking and not enough listening and not enough learning. I don't need to really say anything about that, but it's the truth. People are running these relationships with editorial calendars on Facebook because they think that you like them was a form of an opt-in. Now, there's a me in social media for a reason, and that is because you and I make the world revolve around us. And that's cool. We just have to live with that. Because we live in an era, in an economy where people are brands, and brands are trying to become people. But this is Generation C. How many of you are on Twitter right now? In this economy, as a brand, as a business, it's my job to talk to you and through you at the same time, because this economy is driven by shared experiences. What you see and what you experience right now is what you're sharing right now. And people can be touched without even having to be there. People are earning influence. People are earning scores. People are being rewarded for these scores. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be scored, but now I get a job whether or not my score is over a 50? Come on. This is about social capital and the investment that we make in each of these networks as a business, as a government, and as a human being. See, in that demonstration I did when I first stepped on stage was a demonstration of who I am, where those likes and comments became a form of currency, but I also told you a little bit about my day and about what's important to me. But at the end of the day, how does that affect my cloud score? How does that affect my social capital? Well, if social capital is defined as trust and reciprocity, then a cloud score has nothing to do with it. Look at it if you want, but try to earn trust and reciprocity as a business and as an individual, and that's what the future of capitalism is about. Because what you say here contributes to your social capital. What other people say here contributes to your brand. This is the brand of an airline that I fly quite often. I just punched it into a box, and that's what came back. I just threw it into Wordle, a word cloud generator. Just to make sure, though, I checked that against their website to make sure that that's not how they describe themselves. But that's what this is about. It's about a social economy where what we do and what we say, what people experience, is what people share. And what people share, well, people aren't going to websites anymore to make sure that they can trust you or that your social capital is strong because of what you say in your marketing material. But it's what you do that counts. It's what you do that drives the kind of outcomes that you hope to see and for others to experience, and more importantly, for others to share. The future is yours to shape, both as an individual and as a representative for what other organization you might work with. But it takes a lot of things. It takes empathy, it takes courage, it takes vision, and more importantly, it takes perseverance. Resistance will always fall to persistence. So in this human network, it is not about what you do or what you say as much as it is about what people feel and in turn share. I think that quote by Maya Angelou kind of describes it best. People won't always remember what it is you say, but people will always remember how you make them feel. So this is your time. The future of this economy is in your hands. Thank you.
Thank you.